as you all recall, I was outraged by the fact that the Congress, both sides of the aisle, did not move more quickly on this problem. When you think that they approved tens of billions of dollars within 10 days of Katrina by a voice vote, and yet we had a storm that, as people said this morning, was twice the size of Katrina physically, and we had to wait 100 days for Congress to vote on this, it was outrageous. And when people come to me now, members of the public here, and say to me, why is it taking so long? I say to them, I told you. That's why I was yelling back in November and December and January. Not just because I'm impatient, I am. But that's not just the only reason that I was yelling. Because I knew every day we wasted up front was tacked on to the back end. Because folks in my government and Sean's department, we have work to do to administer billions of dollars that you want us to do the right way, so that the money doesn't get wasted, that it gets to the people it needs to get to. Well, that takes time. It just takes time, no matter what, to listen to the input we've gotten. We've gotten lots of input from the public about what they needed. We've had websites open where people have been writing in. We've been working, as Sean said, to learn from what happened in Katrina. Rich Constable went down and met with the people in Louisiana to talk about that. We've had people from Louisiana and Mississippi up here to help work with our folks. That all takes time. So I think what Washington could learn is that there are lots of situations, not just a natural disaster, which to me should be a no-brainer, that you throw away party and you just say, listen, we're here to help fellow Americans. And New Jerseyans have always been there for fellow Americans. We're a donor state. We know we only get 62 cents on a dollar back for every dollar we send to Washington, D.C., which means every time there's one of these disasters and the federal government sends out money, New Jersey is disproportionately contributing to that vis-a-vis other states. We've never complained about it because whether it was in Florida or Alabama or Mississippi or Texas or Louisiana or floods in Iowa and Illinois and North Dakota and South Dakota, New Jerseyans have never said, hey, wait a second. Tell me exactly how you're spending that money to help those people. What we've said is help them. Be responsible, but help them. And what Washington could learn in watching how we, as a state government led by a Republican, have worked with a federal government led by a Democrat, has been that, I didn't ask the president to only help the Democrats or Republicans in the state. I said to the president, every one of our citizens needs help. And maybe we should bring that spirit to a lot of other things that we're doing in this country. And if we did, I think not only would it be more effective, but the public would also have a little more faith and trust in their government than they do right now. I think that's why we're being as successful as we are here, because you see there's lots of folks here today from both sides of the aisle who understand that when they pick up the phone and call my office, I don't say, let's return the Republicans' phone calls today and the Democrats 2 weeks from now. I feel like that sometimes, but I don't ever do it. And I want to say also it does depend on the Democrat, but just to be honest. But we don't do that. We don't do it. We'll never do it, because when you're elected governor of this state, when you're elected president of the United States, you're elected to serve all the people, not just the ones that agree with you on every issue. So that's what they could learn.